Hello students, today we will see now the work done by variable force. Yesterday we have seen the work done by constant force. Now we are looking here work done by variable force. To understand it, first of all we'll see a figure here. You can see in this figure, in x-axis I have taken the displacement or distance you can say, and in the y-axis I have taken the force. Okay, and as you see that this curve, this is the curve we obtain here, and this is actually the we are going to calculate the work done in moving the body from A to B. Under the action of the variable force, you can see the force is varying, so this type of curve is obtained here. Okay, now to calculate this work done by the variable force to move the object from A to B, we can assume here the entire displacement of A to B we will just divide into the small displacement as it is divided in the rectangular form. You can see that the rectangles are here. Okay, so what we have done, we'll see the one such displacement, that is from P to Q. Okay, we have taken the displacement from P to Q and we are going to calculate the work done in just moving the object from P to Q. You can see that this the graph SR, you are looking here the graph SR, and this SR is almost a straight line, or you can say there is no difference in PS and RQ. So what we can say here, just when we are moving from, means when we are displacing the object from P to Q, the force which we are applying here is considered as the constant force. Why it is considered as the constant force? Because there is PS and RQ which is just equal to the force, and these two lines, the height of the two lines you can see almost equal, so we can consider the force is constant. So what we will see now, we'll see here the small amount of work done, because the small distance is here, this PQ will consider a distance dx, a very small distance dx, and the force which we are considering here is the PS, that is equal to F, the constant force. Okay, so therefore we can say that is the small work, means the small amount of work done in moving the body from P to the body from P to Q. Okay, that is equal to dW. And dW, because as I told you, we can consider for this part that for PQ displacement the force is constant. So for the constant force, the work done is equal to force into displacement. So here also we can say the force into displacement, and when the force and displacement both are in the same direction, the product of these two will be F into dx here, that is F multiplied by dx here. Or you can simply say the F we are considering PS and the dx we have considered here as PQ. Okay, so what we can say, this dW is actually PS. If you consider the rectangle PQRS, you will see the rectangle PQRS. In this PQRS, you can say that PQ multiply by PS, that means it is length into width. So the length into width will give you the area of the rectangle or the strip, you can say the strip PQRS. Okay, so that means if we are going to calculate the total work done, if we are going to calculate the total work done in moving the body from A to B, that can be given by, this can be given by the summation of all the work done, the small work done. That means if you just see the figure here, I can say you this is the first rectangle strip you are looking. So the work done to move the object from here A to, means this, from this point to this point, you can say, then plus the work done from this point to this point, and so that all the work done we will calculate for the small displacement and will sum it. That means simply what we are doing, will integrate it, will just integrate all the work done for this small rectangular strips. Okay, so for this is the equal to the summation of dw, we can say that total work done w will be equal to sum of all the small work done, that is from A to B. Okay, or we can say if this dx is a very small distance, that means if we'll say the w and the dx is very small displacement, so we can apply the limit here that dx tends to 0, and in such situation we'll say f dx, and this, that means the summation sign will change into the integration, and this is f dx. And from where to where we are integrating it? We are integrating it in x-axis from position A to position B. So this would be equal to the total work done. The work done is equal to integration of f with respect to dx, and this is from xa to xb. So you will find here, since we'll see this is in the figure, you will see here it is O. Okay, and the OA will give you XA, this will give you XA. Okay, and this OB will give you what? XB here. Okay, so if we are taking the limit here, that will come from between A to B, it will come between A to B, or you can say the area of the, means f dx, actually when we are talking here the work done, this work done is equal to xa to xb f dx. In place of f dx, what we can write? In place of f dx we can write here, that is area of the strip, PQRS. Now what we are doing when we are integrating, once again look this figure, that means what we are doing, this PQ we are extending from A to B. So when we extend PQ, when we take this P to the A and Q to the B, then the whole curve or whole area will cover, that will that is A B C D A. So this whole area will be there. Okay, that means in this situation we can say the work done is actually equal to the total area. After the integration, it will come the total area under the curve, to total area under the curve that is under the curve between force and x-axis, force and x-axis from xa to xb. or the work done is equal to, simply you can write area A, B, C, D, A. Okay, so the work done by variable force is numerically equal to area under the force curve and the displacement axis. Conservative and non-conservative force. First of all, we'll define here the conservative force. The conservative force is a force is said to be conservative if work done by or against this force, or the force in moving a body depends only on the initial and final position. The initial and final positions of the body, and independent of the path followed between initial and final position. Between initial and final position. Okay, so according to definition, conservative force is the force which only depends on the initial position and the final position of the object. It will not depend on by what path the object is moving. Okay, for example, we'll see here the gravitational force. The gravitational force is a conservative force, and to prove this, let us calculate amount of work done against the gravitational force in moving a body of mass m through height a, b. Okay, the height ab, which is equal to h, over different path from a to b. You can see that in figure a it is given vertically, directly it is shift from a to b. Second figure, you will find here the object of mass m is shifting from a to b height, but it is shifting through an inclined plane, which is inclined through the horizontal or by with the horizontal by angle theta. Okay, the third case we'll see here, the object is moving from a to b, that will cover a to b distance or the same height, but this time it is covering the distance through the staircase, in which you will find the vertical distance of a staircase is h dash and this horizontal width is x. Okay, so in all three cases we'll find the work done against the gravitational force, and that will be equal to mgh. So we are going to calculate here. Look at here the first case. In first case, as you shifting the object from a to b. Okay, so what you will see here in case a, you will see in case a, that is the work done can be given by force into displacement F dot S, or you can say Fs cos theta. But force is working perpendicular upward and the displacement is also perpendicular upward. That means angle theta is 0 here, so it is equal to, this is equal to Fs cos 0, and the value of cos 0 is 1, so the work done is equal to Fs. Here the force is equal to mass into acceleration, and here the acceleration which is working is the acceleration due to gravity, or simply you can say because we are moving an object of mass m, so the weight of that object mg is the force here, that is the force. Okay, so in place of F we will write mg, and in place of S, which is displacement, we can write here h. So the work done is equal to mgh. This is the first case, and we'll write this as equation 1. Now come to the second case. In case B, what we will see here, just look at the figure. This is the object of mass m. The weight of the object of mass m, mg, is working perpendicular downward. Okay, this angle is theta, so mg we will resolve in two component. This here it is mg cos theta, and here you will find mg sin theta. A normal reaction is working here, just perpendicular to the inclined surface, that is r, which is balanced by mg cos theta, and obviously a force which we are applying to move the object in upward direction, that should be at least equal to mg sin theta, that can cover the, or that can overcome the mg sin theta. So what you will find here in this case, the F, the force which is working is mg sin theta. Okay, and now what you will see, the displacement S is given by BC. You will find here this is BC. Okay, now you will see that sin theta, if we are going to calculate sin theta, this sin theta is equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. So sin theta is perpendicular, that means AB, and the hypotenuse, that means BC. Okay, now we are going to calculate the work done in this case. So the work done will be equal to what here? That is also equal to force into displacement F dot, you can say CB here. So this is CB or BC, whatever you can write. Okay, because we are moving towards CB, so I am just writing it C to B, CB here. Okay, and you will see the force is in this direction, the force is in the from C to B, and the displacement is also from C to B. So the angle theta, if we are taking the dot product, that is FCB, it cos theta it is, and theta is 0, so it is FCB cos 0, and since cos 0 is 1, so it is FCB, means F multiply by CB, you can say. Okay, now the force which is working here, W, that is work done, and the force which is working here is what? Mg sin theta, which we have calculated. Okay, as I told you, it should be equal to mg sin theta, the force, and the CB, this distance will write as it is CB. Now you will see this is mg sin theta, but sin theta we can write here, sin theta we can write here AB upon BC, AB upon BC, and multiply by CB, which is also equal to BC. So CB would be cancelled here. Okay, and the work done is equal to mg into AB. This distance mg is what? The distance mg the distance AB is what? That is equal to h. So it is equal to h. So the work done in this case also came, that is mgh. This you will write equation 2. Okay, now come to the equation third case. So we'll obtain the equation 3 here. In third case you will find the staircase in which the body is being taken through the same height AB, h, that is equal to h, over a staircase, and let there be n steps. Suppose n steps are there, okay, and each steps are having, means each step is having the distance, vertical distance h dash and width as x. So the work done we will calculate in this case. This is W3 and it is n time of what? It is when it is vertically displaced. Look at here. The force is working perpendicular upward direction and the displacement is also perpendicular upward direction to shift the body. Okay, so the angle between them is 0. So the force is actually mg and the displacement is h dash here, and the distance, angle between them is 0, so it is cos 0. Okay, and this is n time the vertical displacement, the work done in the vertical displacement, plus the work done for the horizontal displacement. Look at here, the work done for the horizontal displacement. First I have taken the work done for the vertical displacement, that means h dash, and now I am taking the work done for the horizontal displacement, that is x. Okay, so this time the force is working in a means upward direction and the displacement is horizontal. So the distance, so the angle between them is 90 degree. So mgx, and in this case you will find the cos 90 degree would be there, because the angle between the force and the displacement, mg is working perpendicular downward and x is horizontal. Okay, so 90 degree angle would be there, and because of this you will find the omega, this is work done 3 in third case, that is equal to n. Now cos 90 degree is 0, so the second term will be vanish here, and you will find the mg h dash cos 0 is 1, so this is simply mg h dash and this term will be 0. Okay, now what we will see, this is mg and n time h dash. N time h dash will give us, you will see that n time h dash means this small distance h dash plus h dash plus h dash, this if we'll add will get total h here. So n h dash I can write as mg h here. N h dash will replace by h here. Okay, so this is equation 3. That means the work done we will find here, that is equal to mgh. That means what you have seen here, you have seen here that the work done against the gravitational force in all three cases, whether you will take the body, just shift the body just vertically upward direction, or you will take the body by the inclined plane, or you will take the body by the staircase, all three cases you will find the same work done, that is equal to mgh. So we can say the gravitational force is a conservative force. It doesn't depend on the path in which the object is moving. It depends only the initial position and the final position. Other examples of conservative forces are the force in elastic spring, electrostatic force between two electric charges, magnetic force between two magnetic poles, and the last two forces, that is the electrostatic force between the two charges. That is, suppose a charged body is there, this is a charged body, positively charged body, and one is the negatively charged body here. Okay, So if the electrostatic force will work between these two body, this force will be the central force. Central force, that means this force will work towards the center of the body. Okay, so this is called the central force. And likewise, if we are talking about the magnetic force, or the force between the two magnetic poles, so that is also the central force. Here the any magnetized body is there, it is not compulsory the body is a spherical body, any shaped body would be there, but then also the magnetic force always work towards the center. That means from center to center it will work. Okay, so in that situation we can say both the electrostatic force and the magnetic force, these are the central force, and they act along the line joining the centers of two charge or the magnetized body. Thus all central force are the conservative force. Next we will see non-conservative force. In this we'll define first of all force is said to be non-conservative if work done by or against the force in moving a body from one position to another depends on the path followed between these two positions. That means simply opposite of the conservative force, the force is said to be non-conservative if work done by or against this force in moving an object from one position to another is depending upon the path followed. That means it will depend on the nature of the path. For example, I will just take you in the previous example as we have taken for the conservative force, the three path. We have taken the three figure to shift the object from point A to point B, that is up to height h. Okay, so this time what we have seen, the force, the work done against the gravitational force is always equal, and that is equal to mgh, and so that we said the gravitational force is a conservative force. Now we'll talk here about the work done by the friction force. As you know that in first case simply the vertical height is there and we are shifting the object from A to B. Okay, so when we are shifting the object from A to B, so in that case the friction force, the air friction or whatever the friction is there of this path will work. Okay, and the work done by the friction force will be opposite to the opposite in the direction of the work done in moving the object from point A to B. Okay, but it will depends on the nature of the path. Here also you will see this is the inclined plane, and when we are moving the object from C to B, so it will depends on the nature of the path. Okay, we are calculating here the work done due to the friction force. So the friction is depending on the nature of the path, how smooth the nature of the means how smooth the surface is, or the roughness of the surface. It depends on the roughness of the surface also. Okay, so it depends upon the uh, cohesion or the adhesion force of the two bodies. So here the different work done would be there in this case. Okay, the second case. Now you will see the third case. Here also you will find the friction force will be more, because we are moving the object into the staircase. So here means the up and downs are there, so obviously you will find the roughness of the surface, means it depends, the work done will depend on the the friction force will depend on the nature of the surface, and so that the work done by the friction force also depends on the nature of the path. Okay, so simply all three cases will find the work done by the friction force will be different, and so that we can conclude here the force of friction is non-conservative force. And more example you can see that the viscous force is also a type of friction force between the layers of fluid, that is the between the layers of air or the any liquid. Okay, air resistance, tension also is a conservative non-conservative force, because tension depends on the nature of the thread. We have seen already the ideal thread. Okay, so it depends on the nature of the thread. And the normal force also is a non-conservative force, because the normal force also depends on the nature of the path.